They'll be calling you a radical, so you ain't gonna believe this. By the way, I freaking made it another year. My birthday today, my old birthday, my new birthday, the hospital is March 3rd. And I'm not even 1 yet. You know, that's the day 5 years after your last chemo treatment. That's where they officially make your new birthday. Born again on chemo. So this is a big deal. So the salmon numbers, now wait, hear me out. So for you 3rd grade fainting fucking goats, mommy said you're smart, all you lazy fuckers that fucking won't do anything, you get violated. You violated yet? Look, real simple. Why is this so incredibly important? Now hear me, this is probably the most important fucking, well, the most important data on the whole Fukushima diet. By far. Doesn't matter about your hyperbole, your hypothesis, it doesn't fucking matter. We need data. Oh, they're fucking, no, they're not testing. No one's fucking testing. Radiation, Ken Buzzard himself says that. They're bullshit studies, him and fuck, that Buzzard study they're using is a fucking not a study. The Navy has it, they've been told to stand down. How are you going to test? So you're testing for starvation, right? So let me explain why this is so important. The SPRING CHINOOK run. The SPRING CHINOOK, the king number. Why is this so hallowed, so sacred, so important? Let me explain, class. Let's go back. I mean, I think it's so incredibly amazing. Like a Sela camper, an ivory-billed woodpecker, or a black rhino, freaking, or a carrier pigeon. The grassroots, freaking hardcore, freaking environmentalists, they're dead. Oh, we found one in freaking the mountains of Utah in a bone marrow transplant at LDS. We found one, this crazy freaking coelacanth creature called Kevin Blanch we can't relate to because you're so postured and groomed into serfdom. Government employees, so this is why this is so important, then I'll get to the numbers. Look, the most consistent of any migration pattern in all of humanity, all of Earth's creatures that humanity tries to kill, of living things, is the king spring Chinook salmon. It's the most heavily monitored. It's the most consistent of them all. Salmon go to sea for 5 years, class. They go to sea. The first group of smolts that were out in 2010, they had a freaking growth year. They had that year before the ocean started to be poisoned. Record numbers. You heard me right. Record numbers in 2015. Record numbers. The Columbia's the bait, is the heavily monitored. The Willamette, secondly, is important. The Copper River's already emergency closed. The Deschutes are, why is it not the Endangered Species Act? So they're running right now. So it's the most hallowed because, so the next year, the first batch back was the 2016 group, right? They were forecasting on the Columbia 1.7 million. They poured billions into this industry. The escapement, record escapement. They came in at 600,000. The Copper River came in all the way down. The first batch back was at an average of 70% collapse. That's by number. By weight, they're coming in skinny because we're dealing with us grassrooters, talking to Tim, you know, we're on boots on the ground. We're doing the work. Just like the tide pool work, I did the work. Just like the Megan Rice thing, I did the work. Just like the U.S. is right, I do the work. Just like fighting cancer, I do the work. That's why nobody survives cancer anymore. They can't fight. They can't fucking work. They can't do anything. They can't get off their fucking ass. Serfdom's a fucking beautiful thing, isn't it? Let's go play golf in fucking Florida every weekend. Obama played golf 2,000 times. Fucking, it's outrageous. Serfdom. So, this is the first batch back. The first fucking hallowed number. So we started to watch, you know, the Stillhead came in at a catastrophe all over last year. So this is it. And we know it. I've been telling you, this is it. So we're guarding these numbers. So they use computer sonar in the bottom. You, the taxpayer, have paid billions for this. Billions. I mean, all this fish, this apparatus. So we're waiting on the numbers, chewing our fingernails. They start coming in, tracking the most consistent number. You can go all the way through. They're that consistent. They're running at 2% as of April 5th. So the websites have not been updated since April 5th. So I'm calling all over, oh, we have 4-day week works. You know, they don't work. So all morning I've been calling. I waited until 9 o'clock. Call. They have whole teams and panels. I'm talking to the lead person, whatever. Well, finally I get somebody on the phone because I'm throwing a fit. I'm leaving messages all over this morning. Finally, she's like, well, Kevin, we rely on the Corps. I says, the Army Corps of Engineers. No. Then what do? This says your job. Your job is the fish daily data tracking. You have a whole team, IT guys everywhere. So what's your job? You know, so, and then the other person that doesn't even pick up. So then I call the Army Corps of Engineers. Well, you know, and I said, no, wait. Now first Kevin, back to the Oregon one. She says, well, I hope you start catching. I says, I'm not a fisherman. We're environmentalists. We don't want it. We want it closed so the cycle goes on. So there's enough of them that laid their eggs. So what? This is how postured and grim the American populace and how gone it is. Academia, it's all gone. The whole world's gone. You get a government job? No, you work for frickin' us. These are jobs. You're there for a reason. It's not corporate welfare or government welfare. You have to show up. I mean, you make a living off other people's taxes. Hello. I mean, it's postured and groomed right there. Hillfield, 7,000. Nobody does anything. Nobody. You can talk to people that don't even know what they do. I mean, this is how serfdom. You get a job. Trump just play golf every weekend, all weekend, like Obama did. I mean, nobody has to do anything. These jobs are here for a reason. You have this position for a reason. They won't do it because it's a culture. You just show up, you know, go freaking wherever they go all weekend. Governments, I mean, it's outrageous. Academia's the same way. Regurgitate old numbers, whatever. We need these fucking numbers, I'm telling you. We need them now. So just magically, Tim just called me. You know, I guess I threw enough fit. The Willamette number just appeared. So we've had bets. Tim, I, and all the fishermen been betting all the last few days. We've been all betting. You know, the number should be, you know, 978, I believe, should be. And the other guy says it should be 1,300 right now. This is on the forecast. And that's incorporating last year's horrible number. So we're betting. So everybody put in, you know, we bet a beer. You know, one of them good Rogue beers. I used to like to drink that Rogue beer. I don't dare drink anything anymore. I mean, it's like this can of salmon. Every time I eat it, I want to freaking just open the can and freaking slurp it down like Popeye. Fuck. With this fucking coat on. So, we're all betting. What's my number? I said 0. I'm saying 0. They're like, ah, God, you're crazy, Kevin. Yeah, I'm crazy. Tim was the second lowest number, and I think he said 15. Guys were saying 108, 332, 400 thing, some 90s, 110. These are fishermen. Remember, these are fishermen that are on the freak Prescott Beach every day. They're fishing all day, every day. They've caught 2 fish in the last 6 days. They both come in, one at 9 pounds and one at 6. They're all scrawny and sickly looking. These are lifetime hardcore eat, sleep, drink. This is all they do. This is what I'm talking to and dealing with every day. Well, pay up the beer. Guess what the number was? I'm not kidding. 1. You know, so I'm talking to them up there. They're like, well, and by the way, it's not high water. It's not fucking, scientists are mystified. They're puzzled. They're fucking chumps. They're, you know, baffled. It's starvation. It's real simple, kids. Real simple. Fukushima happened. Poured in this incredible heat source right off the get. They started dumping water on it. Before they had tanks, before they had anything, even the tanks, you know, they can't catch it. It just seeps, it rains. It's so hot and so contaminated that robots that are built to handle many thousands of degrees Fahrenheit temperature can't even fucking get in there. You say the early KLK studies are out there 1,000 times. Fuck it. This heat source poured into the ocean. It created the drought. It created the heat bubble. And if you don't believe it, it's that hot. Then how come these, like I said, these robots just, it went in. It immediately killed the luminescence. It took out the plankton off the get. Then, you know, you don't want to believe me. I'm the first one that says this is going to happen. I call the Fukushima releasing these gases. You don't even know what it is. You don't even, this is Livermore's proved my data. Remember I said, it's FU Fukushima. Livermore took waste from Fukushima. They've gotten their hands on, collided it together, and they filled the bottom of the pyramid. I want the fucking, me oh my, Nobel Prize. I want the money. You know, they get $1 million for every one of those, the person who discovered it. I know they discovered all of it. I'm the hypothesis, and I fucking did the work, did tide pools. Hello, you could fucking back on me. You could pull back on me. Mommy said I don't really give a fuck at this point. I'm that disgusted because of the serfdom lazy. Go podcast each other. Fucking lay in your fucking basement with your fucking feet up on the fucking, no. It's like fighting cancer. It's hard, dirty fucking work. But you have to do the work. You know, I do it every day. I don't sit in my fucking house. I don't even have internet in my house. I do my work at the university, which is fucking 15 miles away from my house. You know, That's how hard I go. And I go every day, fuck, because I've been fighting this disease in my body, and I know how big this is. Columbia number's still not out. These derelicts, so she tells me, well, we've got a problem with our contractor. I says, I know for a fact the computer counts them in real time. Yeah, you're right. The sonar and goes right in, just post the lagoon. Oh no, we have a private contractor. What do you got a private contractor? That's what you guys do. We'll pass it to the Army Corps of Engineers. Talk to the Army Corps of Engineers. Oh, we'll call you. They won't call back. Nobody emails me back. It's like the same thing in the media. Oh, and I'm very cordial and I'm very nice to these people. I'm always very cordial. Anybody who's dealt with me in public or whatever, they know I'm very cordial. You know, like they won't ever call me back. They won't freaking. Nobody does. Nobody does. You know, anybody who makes a living off other people's taxes. So I'm gonna start booking guides. $4.50 a day. Take you out on the Great Salt Lake right there. We'll go fishing. You'll pay. You're that fucking. People are that fucking gone. You're paying still. You're booking fucking fishing trips in Oregon when there's no fish. So I told them, I says, the Endangered Species Act. Yeah, we know about it. Well, you know it should have been closed 339 days ago by law, by law, by law. But that's the problem. What good are these fucking laws? It's like immigration. Let's build a wall. When contractors are using, I mean, right at the university, contractors right there using illegal label on federal tax dollar jobs. That's fucking so illegal. It's not the exploited, it's the exploiters. You know, Donald Trump fucking, you know, his own mates. You know, you got them cooking your food. Usury, and you're calling yourselves Christians. Whoa. I thought usury was bad. I don't know. I guess I live in a fucking old school world, I guess. I guess it's so old school, no fashion to care about the environment. It's old school, no fashion to care about the animals, to care about the ecology, to fight for your own life, to fight for your children's life, to give a fuck, you know. What am I going to do for my birthday? The same thing I do every year. I don't care if I was a billionaire, I would still do the same thing. If I had $1, I'm going to go on a picnic with my freaking grandchildren, which I've been doing since I was a child, in the environment. You know, fewer and fewer animals, fewer and fewer birds. You know, can we survive without it? I don't know, but who wants to? I mean, think about it. We're going to go on without the whales, without the dolphins, without the frickin' seals, without the salmon. I love fish. I used to love to eat fish. I used to love to, you know, go to the native ceremonies and you know, the big festivals, and, you know, I did a lot in my life. It was so fun, you know, on the harvest, the salmon harvest. You know, all these joys, these grassroots, organic, authentic joys, just strip away by what the new. So in New York, their budget, they call it the Big Ugly. They've been all fighting and fighting and fighting, so they got it done. So it's being reported all over, so I'm emailing all over. In the Big Ugly, did you fund the $7.6 billion for the fucking bank bailout on chemo? The biggest part of it. What? And I live in Utah. And I'm like, hello, did you fund the nuclear bailout? What? I'm emailing reporters, people all over, legislators all over. Can you please just tell me? I'm reading through the entire thing, heavily detailed, everything. Not a word about the freaking nuclear bailout, which is the biggest piece of this budget. Did you fund it or did they not? I mean, I've come to the conclusion this country's that fucking gone. I mean, I've learned along the way, and I would have never believed this. I mean, I've got to do all this myself on my own. I know that. You know, and thank you to the people that are funding this. I mean, you know, that money has allowed me to do this. I've done a lot of shoestring, and I really appreciate you, and it's important, but, you know, like California, people are going to show up, they're going to do this, they're going to do it. Nobody does. You know, if it's going to get done, I'm going to do it. And I get that. It's like fighting cancer, you know. I would have never believed it until I was in that unit. I didn't realize. I thought everybody fought like hell for their lives. Fought like crazy. I watched Annika fight. I watched my dad fight. I thought these people fought like crazy. They don't. They don't. I mean, we've been that socially engineered into this fucking lazy fucking popism to shopism to just fucking lay down and fucking drop deadism. There's no isms in post-ignorance. Post-ignorance army. What a lonely battle. You know, Kerry, Barefoot Dixon, Adeline Rice. You know, some of these great fucking grassroots. My dad. Wow. What a fight. What a lonely fight. Still waiting on the Columbia number. I'll post it by the time I get back to the university. I'll go back to the university and load it up right now. I was in that hospital room right there. Over 5 years ago. Looking up here, all these houses that I still in that plastic, no plastic. No work. 12 different doctors told me I'd be dead within 2 months. One of them told me I'd been dead within a week. Fuck them too. So there's one. Excuse me, there's two. Now I'm going to go ask the Oregon governor. You know about her, she's bisexual. So like the old guy, she married the old guy, gold dug the old guy, and then, I mean, I guess whatever benefits her economically, sexually, and I mean, look at her. Woo! Wow. So I'm going to ask her, well, what if they're both bucks? What if they're both hens? The Fraser's already reporting that the hens are dying with eggs inside their stomach. They've never, it's starvation. It's real simple. The Fukushima poured in, it's not, it's the ecology, stupid. They starved to death. The Great Pacific Genocide. This is it, I'm telling you. Two. Where's the endangered species? Lazy fuckers in Oregon. Stick it in your I don't know. Thank you to everybody who supported this fight. The fight goes on. So I'll be booking my trips. You know, they charge $4.50 a day. They're glad when you don't catch any fish. Oh, it's the wind blow, it's high water, fucking bro. It's a kitchen fucking sink, whatever. Stand tinted. Story in fucking human history. No one gives a fuck. The Great Pacific Genocide.